A bit outside.
It's the Mcfarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the Mcfarland Show with Darren and Justin.
And a good Tuesday afternoon to you. Welcome into the Mcfarland Show, Sports Radio 560 WNSR. We are Nashville Sports Radio, 2:04 in the afternoon. Appreciate you being here with us. It's the Mcfarland Show minus Darren McFarland. Darren is on assignment to Omaha, Nebraska. He is on his way out there in part for the College World Series. He'll be out there. If you don't know, Darren is very active in his son's baseball life. And so, therefore, he's out there with his team, and they're enjoying some of the College World Series along with their own tournament and all of that out there. So, Darren is away, which he has left the show in my very capable hands. And I'm appreciative of my partner, somebody I've known for 25 years. So I appreciate him very much. And I assure you, we are still going to be here. We're still talking sports, and we're still here with you. You can give us a call, 615-844-5600. That's 615-844-5600. We're in the Strike and Spare studios here of WNSR. Of course, you can also text us at that same line, 615-844-5600. I'm opening up, as a matter of fact, glad I mentioned the text. I'm opening up my text window right now. So I can see some of the nice things that you and the listening audience are writing to us because, you know, we want to take part of that. We want to see that. A lot to discuss out here today. Obviously, Tennessee gets the big win over Stanford. Did you know that? 6-4, final score yesterday from Omaha. As a matter of fact, right here on the air with Vince Ferrara. We helped spark the rally. I'm just go ahead and taking credit for it. Tennessee was down 4-0 when we began the interview with Vince. After 25 minutes of talking to Vince, they were tied at 4. You know, so they didn't score a run before me and Vince got on the air and Darren. So they scored 4 runs after we started talking. So clearly it was us. Clearly it had nothing to do with Stanford's starting pitcher getting tired or Tennessee going through the rotation a couple of different times and, you know, kind of getting adjusted. I'm sure that had nothing to do with it. I'm sure it was just because Darren, Vince, and I all got together and started talking, and the pull of the gravitational towards Tennessee went in their favor, and eventually Tennessee was able to break through. I'm confident that was the reason. So Tennessee rode that all the way to a 6-4 win over Stanford, sending them home. Stanford is done in these College World Series, and now Tennessee moves on to take on a team they know very well, and that is those LSU Tigers, who lost a heartbreaker last night, 3-2 to Wake Forest. And so now LSU is in a situation. You want to talk about intense? Tonight's matchup between two conference rivals? With the season on the line? It's going to be fun tonight in Omaha, Nebraska. Coming up a little bit later, Jonah, my producer, coming up a little bit later, we're going to hear from Tennessee and LSU. That's coming up in our next segment. We're not going to do that right this second. I'm sorry, I didn't communicate that to you beforehand, but it's okay. It's okay. We're going to do that coming up here in a few minutes. We're going to hear from Tennessee's head coach as well as LSU's head coach as they head into that big game tonight, 6 p.m., as LSU takes on Tennessee in the next round. As for the current round that is ongoing, it is TCU 1, Oral Roberts 0. They are in the top half of the 4th out there in Omaha as the World Series does continue. Of course, Tennessee gets the nightcap in this case. Tennessee against LSU starting tonight. But Oral Roberts trailing TCU 1-0 in the top half of the 4th. And this is, yes, an elimination game for both of these teams as well. So the pressure is on. It says elimination game right up there in the corner of the screen. That's how I know. So elimination game for LSU, or excuse me, for TCU and Oral Roberts here. So let's find out exactly how that shakes out here over the next couple of hours. Other things happening across the world of sports today. Something we didn't actually get to yesterday, a small note from the NBA, and that is Draymond Green, the all-star player for the Golden State Warriors, who has decided to opt out of his particular deal with Golden State. He had a player opt out. He's giving up $27 million, and he's going to become a free agent. So he's going to hit the free agency market. Now, I'm not sure where he's going, and I don't know if he knows where he's going either. But knowing Draymond Green, he probably has a plan. He probably just doesn't hit the open market just because. He's probably got a thought about this. So, where he ends up, we'll find out in time. But, that's just something I wanted to put out there as something we did not get to yesterday. If you're wondering if you missed any DeAndre Hopkins news, you have not. DeAndre Hopkins is still a free agent. He still has not signed with the Titans. He still has not signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He hasn't signed with them either. But he hasn't signed with the New England Patriots. He has not signed with anybody. And to our knowledge, there's no more visits that have floated to the top. So we're still in wait-and-see mode with DeAndre Hopkins, as we are now just over a month away from the start of Titans training camp. So we'll see if he signs with anybody. But you didn't miss it. He didn't sign with anyone. So there is what's going on with that. Other than that, we're wide open. Baseball obviously is in full swing out there across the nation. We have entered what Darren popularly calls the desert when it comes to sports radio. The NHL season is over, even though the draft does come to Nashville here next week. The NBA season is over, even though they are also looking forward to their draft, and I believe their combine is coming up here soon. And people will get a chance to check all the players and all of that. The college football, the spring games are a wrap. So, just waiting. They're recruiting. Obviously, the NFL's been over. The draft is over. Free agency is over. The mini camps are over. So we're just wait and see with the NFL. Wait and see with college football. Wait and see with almost everything. College basketball is in the can. Nothing major moving in that direction. So we have entered what Darren, and there's a reason why Darren calls it the desert. Because all we've got going on right now is Major League Baseball. Nothing wrong with that, other than we don't really have Major League Baseball here in Nashville. Now, we're home for the Atlanta Braves, and we're proud to do that. And that is, I should address them properly. Your first place Atlanta Braves. Let's give them the due that they deserve. The first place Atlanta Braves, we are home to them. We are proud to bring you Braves baseball. As a matter of fact, we will have an interruption in our programming, we believe, coming up Thursday for Atlanta Braves baseball right here on WNSR. So we're proud to be your home of the Atlanta Braves. They're 4.5 up on the still weird to say Miami Marlins in the NL East. I'm older. The Florida Marlins is who they are to me, but I understand they've switched. I understand. I get it. I can read. They're the Miami Marlins now. I get it. I can read. I see it. By the way, TCU scored another run. They're up 2-0 now. 2-0 over Oral Roberts in the top half of the fourth in that particular contest. So we have entered the desert. One more thing I want to pass along before we talk about a little bit about what's happening today. A little while ago, our friend Michigan in Murfreesboro made a prediction for the NL Central crown, National League Central. He said that it was going to be your Cincinnati Reds who came out on top in the NL Central and encouraged people to put their hard-earned money on the line for such a venture. Well, last night, those Cincinnati Reds took over first place in the NL Central. They are now up half a game on the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, the Reds are 38-35, and last place in that division is 8 games back. So it's the tightest division in baseball at this point, but to Michigan's credit, Cincinnati is in first place. So if you put your weight on Cincinnati, so far it's looking good as they've won 9 games in a row, 9 of their last 10, and they're looking like the team to beat. But it's June, so teams get hot in June. They don't give away any division championships or pennants in June. It's just June, so we'll wait and see what happens on the back end of that. But I want to bring that to your attention for those of you who listen to the show regularly. Again, you can give us a call, 615-844-5600. That's 615-844-5600 from the Strike and Spare Studios. I'm Justin McFarland. Darren is away. And we do have other people who are going to come in and speak with us. We're going to hear from Patton Cook at some point. I'm confident. I'm speaking it into existence that Patton Cook, the fine producer of the of the early morning shows here at WNSR, is going to join us as a co-host, and I look forward to having a conversation with that man, as he has lots of sports knowledge that he's going to bring to us coming up here very soon. Before we hear from Patton, probably tomorrow or another day, but we'll hear from Patton. Today, we are bringing in, and I'm happy to do so, the next generation of sports talk radio. We're bringing in the youth, everybody. We're bringing in our young interns. These folks are still either in college or just graduated from college. I'm not going to, besmirch them, but they're here to tell us exactly what they are doing. And they've got sports knowledge, okay? We've been testing them off the air. So I'm confident that they have sports knowledge and sports takes and things that they can talk about here that's going to help us through the next couple of hours here as we talk sports with you and keep you engaged and entertained out there and informed, of course. Jonah Story has been our producer for the last couple of months, and he joins us now. Jonah, good afternoon, sir.
Great afternoon, Justin.
Great afternoon. Love the energy so far, Jonah. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much. And Alec is here with us, even though Alex told me his last name, and now I forget it. I think it's Alec Kiesel here.
Kiesel, actually.
Kiesel.
Yeah.
Kiesel. See,
It
Alex,
looks like Kiesel.
turn the microphone. See, we're teaching already. Turn the microphone towards you. You want to talk in that sweet spot right up at the top there. You got it?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. That's a little better. All right. So, Alex Kiesel.
Kiesel, yeah.
Okay.
It looks like Kiesel, though. So you're.
See, didn't I tell you not to tell me that? See, I told you, don't tell me that. Because you'll plant it in my brain and out it came.
I shouldn't have said anything.
And out it came anyway. This is, see, we're learning. This is what
absolutely.
This is what knowledge is power, okay? This is a learning process here. So these two fine young men are here with us at WNSR for the summer, and they've been talking to us and learning things off the air. Real quick, Alec is from Michigan, correct?
I'm a Spartan, too.
You're a Spartan, too.
Yep.
Michigan State, right?
Yep, and diehard Detroit fan.
Diehard Detroit fan, you poor thing. Okay, we'll get you counseling here for the next couple of hours. Jonah is here. Jonah is from Arkansas, correct?
Well, I'm from Middle Tennessee, but I go to school in Arkansas.
Yeah, don't act like you don't claim Arkansas in here. Don't do that.
I claim Arkansas loudly and proudly.
I know you do.
Every single day.
Don't do that. No, just tell the people you go to Arkansas, right?
I do go to the University of Arkansas.
Okay, give me a sue, okay?
Really?
You know, never mind. Okay, don't do it. Now, if you question, don't do it. No, it's too late now. The moment has passed. Don't do it. Don't do it. The moment has passed. I asked you for it. You said, really? That told me all I need to know about it. Don't worry about it. You're good.
It's pretty loud.
But
so.
you grew up where, Jonah?
Middle Tennessee, Murray County.
Down in Murray County. Now, you said it like now. That I believe. Where'd you grow up, Jonah? Middle Tennessee, Murray County? Yes, you did. Yes, you did, sir. Yes, you did grow up in Murray County. There's no doubt about that. When you say it like that, you grew up in Murray County for sure. So thank both of you who are here with us here over the next little bit. I'm going to be asking these two fine gentlemen who know quite a bit about sports, about several things that I have been curious about when it comes to the youth of America. They don't know it yet, but they're for it here because I'm going to talk. The Youth of America? Is that a 90s song?
Yeah, we're the kids
of America.
Yeah, Kids of America.
That's an 80s song. Yeah.
Kids of America?
Yeah.
We're the kids in America.
No, he's right.
It's in the Jimmy Neutron movie.
Oh, the Jimmy Neutron.
That,
Boy, Jimmy Neutron. Okay, we're going back. Jeez. Okay, so as you can tell, it's going to be a different kind of conversation than the one Darren and I would have each and every day, as we've already made reference to Jimmy Neutron here at 2:17. 17 minutes in, and we've already brought up your first Nickelodeon character. So that kind of tells us the age bracket that we are in, as we're talking about Jimmy Neutron here already. Good to know. Jimmy Neutron, boy genius, right? Yeah, that's it. You know, I'm not that old. You know, I'm not sure Darren would even know that. 615-844-5600. That's 615-844-5600. Gentlemen, both of you know Tennessee is in the College World Series. Jonah, I know you've been watching intently last night. What are your thoughts so far about the College World Series?
This is the first time that I've absolutely watched the College World Series on my own outside of a friend's porch. And I've really enjoyed watching the College World Series. I've loved the competitiveness. I've loved the fans getting angry about strike zones. Just everything about it I have loved.
Okay. Loving every minute. Alec, what about you? Thoughts on the College World Series?
I'm in the same boat as him. It's kind of like the first time I've been watching it because up in Michigan, college baseball is not a big thing up there. So
it's not.
And so, coming down here is kind of a culture shock. Like, people love college baseball down here.
Well, we like it because we're good at it.
Right,
You'll learn. That kind of goes together.
I think there's been one Big Ten team in it in the last, Michigan, I think.
That is true.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a lot of
they
Big
played
Ten
Vandy a few
teams
years
going
ago.
to Omaha. That's true.
I've been paying attention to it. It's a good tournament. I've been paying more attention to Tennessee just because it's the local team.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed it.
Is what we do here. So, yes, obviously Tennessee getting set for their big game against LSU tonight. So, and we continue to watch the action there from the College World Series. So, I've got more questions for these guys coming up here in a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to be hearing from Tennessee's head coach and a few of their players, Tony Fatalo, as they tell us how they're getting set for LSU Part 2 tonight there in Omaha. This is the Mcfarland Show on WNSR or Nashville Sports Radio.
Green Line Landscaping is on the air saluting the brave men and women of our U.S. military. Their tireless efforts each and every day will never go unnoticed. Visit DAV.org to see how you can donate to our disabled veterans and make a difference today. This message is brought to you by Green Line Landscaping. For residential and commercial landscaping and hardscaping, call the specialist today at 615-710-7067. That's 615-710-7067. Green Line Landscaping. They're professionals who care.
Greg Polk back once again to tell you about Bongo Java, Nashville's oldest and most celebrated coffee company, located in the Omni Nashville Hotel. Bongo Java's expert baristas take pride in their trade, serving up fresh, locally roasted coffee, classic handcrafted espresso, drinks, and fresh baked goods all day long. Start your day with an American or cold brew, or for a taste of Music City, grab a West End latte flavored with local honey and cinnamon, a Breakfast Club biscuit, or an everything all-at-once sandwich will fill you up and let you focus on your day. Bongo Java also has you covered for lunch with tasty deli sandwiches served on fresh-baked ciabatta bread like the I'll Have What She's Having or the Godfather. Bongo Java, open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy a fresh cup of Bongo Java in the heart of Music City. Bongo Java is the Nashville way to start the day. Bongo Java in the Omni Nashville Hotel, downtown 5th Avenue, Music City.
Shop the best deals of the summer now at Lowe's. Freshen up your home inside and out with buy one, get one 50% off on select interior and exterior paints and exterior stains via Lowe's gift card rebate. Plus, save big on select patio furniture and accessories with up to 50% off. Lowe's knows July 4th savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 6/28. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
You don't plan for a computer virus. You don't plan to lose files. You don't plan to knock your laptop off the counter. And you don't plan for your PC to crash or your screen to freeze. But Staples has a plan. A plan for unlimited virus protection. A plan for help when you need it 24/7. Staples Total Support Plans are your tech plans for the unplanned, starting as low as $199.99. And although you didn't plan for this, right now at Staples you can also get $250 off select computers. N729 in-store only. See associate for details.
Deerview Land Specialists is on the air saluting the brave men and women of our U.S. military. Their tireless efforts each and every day will never go unnoticed. Visit DAV.org to see how you can donate to our disabled veterans and make a difference today. This message is brought to you by Deerview Land Specialists. For quality service that goes above and beyond, call the pros today at 931-607-3519. That's 931-607-3519. Deerview Land Specialists. They're professionals who care.
Sports fans, listen to Youth Connect on Monday nights at 6 and hear me, Seagull Boys basketball coach Matt Rigsby and Darren Mcfarland.
Hey, listen to Youth Connect on Monday nights from 6 until 7 o'clock as we highlight high-level trainers, coaches, and players in and around Middle Tennessee. Give us a call at 615-844-5600. We live video stream all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
And hear me, Seagull Boys basketball coach Matt Rigsby.
And hear me, Darren Mcfarland, live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
The Mcfarland Show. Video streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube from the Strike and Spare studio.
Thank you, Mr. Big Voice Guy. Welcome back into the Mcfarland Show, Sports Radio 560 WNSR. I am Justin McFarland. Darren McFarland with the day off as he's out in Omaha. You know who else is in Omaha? TCU and Oral Roberts. They're out there right now. TCU leading the ball game right now 2-0. They're in the bottom half of the fourth. Although Oral Roberts is got something going here. They got one on with nobody out. Later on tonight, it's going to be LSU taking on Tennessee. Tennessee was able to reach that game with a 6-4 win over Stanford. LSU is in this game because they lost to Wake Forest. 3-2 was the final score. Now, after the game, Tennessee head coach Tony Fatalo, along with other players, spoke about their impressive victory, their come-from-behind victory. Remember, Tennessee was down 4-0 in this game at one point, but they were able to come back and get the win. Let's hear from few players.
Yeah, I mean, outstanding game. Their lineup was as advertised. Very difficult to navigate was the word out on the street for good reason. And they got a lot of fight to them, too. I know they've got a lot of elimination wins and comeback wins. So it was going to take an extra special effort out of our whole team, to be honest with you. This is the second week in a row we've got to a guy that many people don't get to. And they're guys that can frustrate you, which makes it even more difficult when you kind of are feeling that playoff vibe or elimination deal. But we got the special effort by those guys, you know, forcing somebody who refuses to come out of the game to come out of the game. And then we brought our guy that doesn't like to come out of the game. And a few guys asked me on the field, a lot of people asked me on the field, what did you mean by you made a mistake or you should have put your team in a better position in game one? And that was me just speaking out loud to you guys and being honest. I don't feel good about the guy to the left of me not being in a game that we have a chance to win. So maybe we can go to him in the ninth inning when we've cut it to 5-3, but then he can't go for as long as he did, or maybe doesn't even have an opportunity to come in that earlier in the game. So that's kind of what I was referring to. It's an interesting deal how the season has worked out, having a starter go to the bullpen for a reset and then lighting the world on fire out of the bullpen. So it's kind of the way we rolled with it, but the second time he's gone, you know, up towards 100 pitches in the playoffs. And, you know, Doe will bounce back and be one of the best pitchers to come out of this thing. And there's a lot of other best pitchers, but I'm prejudiced. It might be the best guy in the whole thing. And trust me, I know the guy we faced the other night, how good he is. But
Matt Tallery from World Baseball Network. Chase, how did it feel to just maintain your composure with your mechanics on the mound, finishing off with 6 innings, 73 pitches, 20 batters faced, no walks, striking out 9 batters, let alone containing the run tempo with not having the Stanford offense get into scoring position the rest of the way?
Yeah, you know, that offense is really talented. So, you know, me coming in there, you know, me and Coach A had a game plan going into it and just following that game plan and sticking to it 100%.
Jack Foster, Rocky Top Insider. Jared, just what do you think allowed you guys to have more success in the 5th inning offensively?
Yeah, no, I think we were just putting together quality at bats. The guy's obviously a really good pitcher. He's done really good things this year, so credit to him for that. But I think we just started to calm down a little bit and realized that we're never out of the fight. And I think we just started coming together as a team like we always do later in the games.
Okay, next question. Yeah. Matt?
Matty Marinas, White and Blue Review for Chase. When you came in that game, it obviously felt like a lot of momentum was in Stanford's dugout, and they had a situation they could have put together. What was going through your mind as you approached that first hitter and settled in?
Yeah, you know, coming out the bullpen, you know, I got one thing in mind, it's just do your job. You know, no fight's too big for us, and I'm just going to go out there and do my job and hope for the best.
Yeah, Chase, Gentry SS Tennessee. And what do you think it is about this role that suited you so well?
That's hard to say, man. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. I love energy. So, you know, coming in this game, I had a lot of energy. Balled it up. You know, I knew how to go a little bit longer today. So, you know, it's a different role, but I'm happy being it.
I think really regardless of what inning he or other guys were throwing in, it was a crazy beginning to the season. And the whole group needed to find our way, but we also kind of needed a reset. And whether it's individually or as a team, Jared mentioned it, just kind of coming together and finding a way to be the best version of ourselves, because we were fighting so many extra battles at the beginning of the year, and now we're just fighting the game and the opponent, which if you're in this place, it's hard enough as is, so there's no reason to fight extra battles.
Jared, I know he's sitting right next to you, but if you could put your thoughts on Chase's outing into words.
I mean, I said it last year whenever we were playing at Ole Miss. We're really lucky to have this guy on our team. Super special guy, really a hard worker, even better guy off the field. So it's just extremely special to have a guy like this in our program, and he does really good things for us. And it just shows you today that if you put your mind to something, you can do whatever you want to do. So credit to him for a great outing.
Wes Rucker, 24/7. For Jared, you know, with that wind at times, it looked like it might have taken 2 swings to get the ball out of the yard today. You know, I saw that early on with the sac flies and everything. Did y'all make any adjustments, you know, to sort of hit more line drives, or was it just happened?
Yeah, I think it was during that 5th inning whenever we were rallying. You were hearing V scream from the dugout, hands out on top, and whenever he says that, it's usually just trying to get hands out on top, obviously, and just hit line drives. So, yeah, because we knew that if we hit the ball in the air, it wasn't going to really do anything. There's probably 1 or 2 guys on our team that could get it out of there today.
You guys are second in the country with the earned run average, but let alone what lies ahead for you guys the next few days. There's still the Floridas, the LSUs are still in the mix. Familiar opponents, let alone in conference. What's it like to just go out there and now you guys are going to compete still for a national title?
I think I don't mean to speak for him. Actually, we used to tease him freshman year. He needed practice, but Danny said he's killing it out there compared to his high school interviews. So we're all about improvement in all areas. But no, I think now is an opportunity just to play. Like yesterday's off day was a little frustrating because we lost. We wanted to bounce back and play again. Well, be careful what you ask for because now it's like Little League. You get your uni muddy or, you know, you just keep playing. And fortunately, we have the arms to keep going. We've kind of shortchanged some of those guys by taking them out of games early, but it might benefit us in the long run. And, you know, I'm glad you mentioned that number because I tried to spit it out the other night. I don't know where we stack up with ERA, and that doesn't tell the whole story, like that we're necessarily better than whoever's third in ERA, but it's kudos to Coach Anderson, who I lean on a lot because we've had, again, a quirky start to our year. A lot of guys have not had career years or anything like that, and yet as a group, if you combine it all together, it's a pretty impressive number.
Good answer, Chase.
Yeah. Thank you. Teamwork.
We have a Zoom question. Please give us your name, your affiliation, and which player you're addressing the question.
Yeah, hi. This is Ben Parker from CardinalSportsReport.com. I cover the Stanford Cardinal for the Rivals Network. This question is for Chase. Just want to get your thoughts on the challenge of facing a really potent Stanford lineup for the first time. Just what's the challenge of facing a tough lineup like that the first time? And then, of course, also the first time they had seen you before. So just do you feel like maybe that first-time matchup worked to your advantage at all in this one?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if they have a pitcher, you know, in their conference that's kind of like me. You know, they were putting really good swings on my fastball and slider too. So I used all my pitches today, you know, to get ahead in the count and do the job. So.
Jack Foster, Rocket Up Insider. Jared, you guys have had a lot of comeback wins, especially in the postseason. What can you say about the perseverance and fight in this team improving over the course of the season?
Yeah, it's super special. And like I said earlier, we just know we're never out of the fight. We got a really special group of guys that have been through a lot this year. And we kind of huddled together before the game and told each other, like, let's not let today be our last day. And I think everybody kind of just took that and ran with it. Just coming together at the right time. And it's super special what we've done.
It felt like I felt like Quinn was really settling in there those first 4 innings. He felt like he had a good rhythm going. How did you break that as suddenly and as potently as you guys did, do you think?
Now that he's out of here, I think it's easier to say he changed the energy of the game when he came in. And it was frustrating for everybody because we got a chance to score in the first inning and don't do it. We got the right guys up at the plate. We don't do it. And then Doe is cruising or, you know, gets 2 quick outs, I should say, and has a chance to get us right back in the dugout. And let's keep this thing going because we felt like we had a good mindset and game plan for Matthews. I think the guys were excited about the challenge because last week during our whatever you want to call our schedule was in Hattiesburg, we had to sit there and wait for the Texas-Stanford game to finish so that we knew what time we played the next day, which was the biggest game of the year. So the guys were excited about the challenge, and I think we had a good game plan. So the offensive approach was there. but it was just kind of a kick in the gut to all of a sudden think we're going to be ahead in the first. Now we're down in the first. And that was a theme early in the year. We expected to do great things right out of the chute, and when it didn't go well, the guys got deflated. And somewhere along the year, we learned to respond the right way. When it gets tough, you got to get a little tougher, or whatever cliche you want to throw at it. So I think we grew up as a team and handled situations better like that in the middle of the game when you're down 4-0. I think this is the third time we've come back from 4-0. But then also, to be honest with you, since he started to come in the games, instead of starting, he's completely changed the vibe. When he's out there, the guys get energy from it.
Okay, over here.
Yeah, Tony, what does it say about Chase, given how the season has gone, and yet he's responded the way he has? And have you been around too many relievers that can change a game the way he keeps doing for you guys?
Yeah, he's a pro. And normally when you get a freshman, they're kind of out of sorts. They don't have routines. And I kept saying it last year because he did great things last year, and so had to answer a lot of questions about him. We didn't know we were getting what we got his freshman year, and it's more of a compliment to him than anything. We knew we were getting a great arm, great stuff. We were fortunate enough he decided to go to college instead of sign, but we didn't know he was going to be that mature. I mean, he thinks he's like an infielder or an outfielder. He's not that good, but his PFP was really good. His routines were already polished. He's a pro, and so I think when he's been asked to handle different situations, he's TBA last year in the Super Regional, but then we start him and he goes 7 innings and is incredible then. It all kind of falls under that umbrella of pro. And then, the Vanderbilt series is one that local media talks about. He changed the vibe in the stands with the media, with our fans not at the game, with our dugout, with our team. That particular instance, but the rest, to be honest with you, I just file under the category of he's one of the best pitchers on the planet, amateur status, and he's just getting us outs. Because, again, we got a starter. And it'll be interesting. If we can keep playing ball, it'll be interesting when his next lump of innings comes. Does it come at the beginning of a game or the middle or at the end?
Okay. Jack.
Alex Day, College Baseball Central. Coach, can you talk a little bit about what it means for you to get your first win here in Omaha and the program's first win in Omaha since 2001?
Yeah, I mean, anytime there's a bridge to the history, it's a big deal for us. We invested a lot of time in kind of researching Coach Delmonico's time on Rocky Top and the 2005 team, but also Burke's team, and then Todd Helton's group. They've helped us a bunch. So anything kind of excites us that serves as a bridge between us and success in the past. I mean, Tennessee in general is a place, Pat Summit, you name it, a very proud tradition. And then for today, to be honest with you, our little theme we've had all year long because of tough times is just keep pushing forward. So this is one more day we get to keep pushing forward, and then a win is nice, but you need more than one win at this place to get too excited about wins. It's more about this group getting to be together another day or two, and hopefully even more than that. But I don't know if they agree with me in August and September, like, yeah, let's do whatever we got to do to hang out a little bit more. But the team has come together, and I speak for them that we'll take another hour together if we can.
Okay, Mike, well, this will be our last question for this session. Happy birthday, Mike.
Thanks, Bill. Coach,
Did you get him anything?
I got a question.
Okay, there you go.
Coach Mike Patterson, Omaha World Herald. Going against Quinn Matthews today, a guy who had thrown 156 pitches at the previous start. Did that change your strategy at all, or did you have a specific strategy to attack him?
Yeah, we did as a group, and you kind of got two choices. You could say, man, why are we the team that inherits the number one strikeout pitcher in the country and the number two strikeout pitcher in the country in our back-to-back games? Or you can have the Brian Cain mindset of we get to face this guy and this guy. And again, I think, I don't know, maybe it was because we were sitting and watching that game on TV last week and our kids knew who he was, or Coach Elander getting with those guys and putting together a pretty specific game plan that I would share with you at this point if I knew exacts. But I think it was more about looking forward to and excited about the challenge and knowing that it's not going to be easy. this is a wild place. You're dying to get here as a ball player from the time you're a little tyke. But again, like I said earlier, you better be careful what you ask for. When you get here, it is not going to be easy at any point of the whole deal.
And that remains true. That remains true for certain. Tennessee getting set to take on LSU. That game tonight, 6 p.m. Loser, go home. Okay? So it's going to be very intense there from the College World Series. At last check, by the way, TCU 3, Oral Roberts nothing. Top half of the fifth there in Omaha. And another elimination game that's happening as we speak out there in Omaha. Plenty more of the Mcfarland Show. When we come back, this is Sports Radio 560 WNSR. We're Nashville Sports Radio.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceutical.
Nashville, start your engines. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix is coming to the streets of downtown Nashville. Experience 3 days of racing, music, family fun zone, food trucks, and more. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix is August 4th through August 6th. From stadium super trucks flying through the air to open wheel IndyCar racing that turns right. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix has something for every race fan. There's music all day, every day. And don't miss the Friday and Saturday night concert under the stars. And they have rides for the kids provided by Wesley Mortgage. The streets of Music City come alive August 4th through August 6th. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. Grab your tickets before they're gone and log on to MusicCityGP.com. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. It's more than a race. It's a festival.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-898-6155 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. What do you have to lose? Call 800-898-6155. Again, 800-898-6155.
Five-state forecast. Your exclusive National Sports Radio, WNSR Skyscan forecast. For today, time for clouds and sun with showers and thunderstorms likely, the high 80. Maybe a thunderstorm this evening, otherwise mostly cloudy tonight, low 66. Partly sunny, thunderstorms for Wednesday, high 86. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi. Sports Radio, WNSR.
This is the Greg Pogue and John Burton Show.
So it's Miss Amy now for everybody, right?
Apparently it's Miss Amy.
It's Miss Amy, Miss Amy.
I call her AAS.
I call her owner. And then
The boss.
You know what she is? She's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Damn, bro. She's a gangster.
She knows what
she's a gangster.
She knows what she's doing.
Yep.
Greg Pogue and News Channel 5's John Burton, WNSR. Nashville Sports Radio.
Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The Mcfarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Sports Radio 560 WNSR. We are Nashville Sports Radio. This is the Mcfarland Show. I am Justin McFarland. Thrilled to be here with you this afternoon. You can be here with us as well, 844-5600. That's 615-844-5600. For those of you who are normally used to the tones of my good friend Darren McFarland, he's in Omaha, Nebraska, or at least he's on his way out there to Omaha, Nebraska. That is where he's going to take in some of the College World Series and out there with his team as well as son's baseball team and doing the whole dad thing. And props to Darren and everybody else who's taking the time. I know we just passed Father's Day weekend, but all the fathers out there and the people who are making the summer ball thing happen. It's not just fathers. I know it's a lot of mothers and grandparents and aunts and uncles and guardians out there making summer ball happen for the kids, because the kids cannot get to the yard themselves. They can't get the bats themselves. They can't get the gloves themselves. Somebody has to do all that for them. So, and you're making these memories out there. So good for them. And Darren will be back coming up here in a few days. Until then, you've got me, you got Alec, and you got Jonah. And we are here with you, and we're taking your call. 615-844-5600. That's 615-844-5600 here from the Strike and Spare studios of WNSR. Before we get to the sports thing real quick, just want to pass a note that we do have some lightning here in the area. I've just glanced at the radar. Could have some heavy rain, some thunder, and some lightning around. So heads up on that. If you're out and about driving around, your eyes do not deceive. Yes, that is thunder that you probably hear. And yes, that is lightning that you probably saw. So heads up on that. Nothing, as far as a weather warning or anything like that. Just be weather aware, eyes to the sky with all of that as you make your way down. We're talking with a couple of gentlemen here. Both of them are in college. Both of them going to big schools, okay? Jonah's going to the University of Arkansas. Alec is going to Michigan State University. Both of these are big-time places playing big-time conferences, and they are opened and they have been exposed to big-time sporting events that have happened there. So I'm very curious, Jonah, starting with you. What's the biggest thing that's happened at Arkansas since you've been there sporting-wise?
Arkansas beat Texas in 2021. And the entire field was rushed, and I experienced that by working on the sidelines for ESPN that day.
Yeah,
so that was an amazing experience.
Where was that game?
That game was in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
In Fayetteville, there.
Yes.
So the state lost their mind.
The state lost their mind because when Texas comes to your town,
yeah,
they are there for the week. Texas fans will hang out in your town for the week.
Texas is not that far, man. I mean, it's you guys are right next door.
Yes, but it's a little vacation for them.
There's literally a town called Texarkana. That's how close it is.
Texarkana, Arkansas.
Yeah, it's like right there. Okay, Alec, what about you? Biggest event that's happened sports wise since you've been at Michigan State? Wait, hold on. Get his microphone on. Turn up the man's microphone. All right, let's.
He
good?
He ready.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd say 2021, Michigan State, Kenneth Walker, 5 touchdowns. Michigan was up 30-14 in that game, and with I think like 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, and we came back. We won the game 37-33. Crazy game. Loved it. Drank some amazing blue tears. It was fantastic.
Man, I remember both of these events. I do remember Texas, Arkansas, and I certainly remember Kenneth Walker, who now plays for the Seahawks, going nuts there in that particular game. Really, probably the game that got him drafted, truth be known. Not that he didn't have a fantastic season. He did. But that was the game that put him on the map.
I agree.
Really.
And I think he got snubbed for a high. Like, not that he maybe shouldn't have won it, but he didn't even get to go to the show.
Who won the Heisman that year?
Who was it?
I don't remember.
Was it Bryce? Yeah, it was Bryce Young.
Was it Bryce Young that year who won the Heisman?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he should have won it. I'm not saying Walker should have won the Heisman. I'm saying he at least should have been in New York. He should have been in New York. He got snubbed to go to the show.
He didn't go to New York?
No. And he was the best running back in the nation. He was the leading rusher, most touchdowns. And he didn't get to go.
Well, we don't value running backs the same way we used to here. Just don't in sports these days. What is the most misunderstood thing about Michigan State, do you think? What is the thing people say and you go, that doesn't happen? What are
I
you
think
talking
that
about?
we're the little brother school in the state of Michigan.
You guys are not the little brother
No.
school?
I mean, Mike Hart, he's the guy who started that whole thing after we lost them, I think 6 years in a row.
Yeah.
Since then, last 16 years.
Okay, Alec,
what?
come on now. Michigan is the much more known brand than Michigan
But
State is.
the last 16 years, besides,
So you're you're about to talk about success on the field and on the court and stuff. No. I'm talking about just as a national brand. Like, who has more lore? Who do fans know more nationally? It is Michigan.
I agree,
and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a reason that why you get the little brother tattoo then.
Yeah, it bothers me.
Well, rightfully so. Jonah, Arkansas. What do people misunderstand? You're there every day. What is that people don't know about Arkansas?
What people tend to think about Arkansas is this common misconception.
Yeah.
That it's not as diverse.
What do you mean by that?
There's a lot of diversity in Arkansas.
Okay.
In the town, with its people.
In Fayetteville.
Yes, in Fayetteville.
Yes.
And people are thinking, what's the cuisine like? And they're probably thinking it's probably all barbecue all the time, and it's not.
It's not.
There's some wonderful Asian restaurants, and there are some wonderful Nashville hot chicken spots, because there's a Nashville hot chicken place with people from Nashville who moved to Fayetteville that serves up food there. And so
the Nashville hot chicken thing is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It really is. It's really incredible to watch how fast that grew into this national brand. It's really just the Nashville natives know what I'm talking about. It was not this big thing, forever ago. It was like one restaurant in town, and all of a sudden now it's a national brand. It's like, what are you talking about? But that is very interesting. So you're saying people do not walk around with barbecue IVs there in Arkansas. That's what you're saying, because you're right. People do believe that.
Fayetteville has some great barbecue places.
Yeah.
Sassy's and Wright's, wonderful places, and I know I'm probably leaving out some more, but the food scene there is incredible. There's a market called the Coop there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a Whole Foods, but you can also get a great salad.
Okay.
And you can sit out on the porch.
Are you hungry, Jonah? No. Because the way you're talking about it, man, there's a look in your eyes that says, I wish I was there right now.
I'm just really passionate.
Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm really passionate about all the places that help me get through the semester.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. I'm not saying you can't have those feelings. I'm just saying the way in which you're speaking about this is on a level that I just wasn't expecting. Okay, so they're sharing their passion and their love here about Arkansas and Michigan State here. Of course, we'll welcome your phone calls as well. 844-5600. That's 844-5600. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the first hour. This is the Mcfarland Show on Sports Radio 560 WNSR.
Hey, Tennessee! We're Zen Sports, the new sportsbook in town. We listen to your feedback on our competitors, so we designed Zen Sports just the way you wish. Set favorites, search and sort bets, and earn real cash rewards, saving you time and money with every bet you make. Find the bets you want, not those distracting bets that seem too good to be true, but rarely are. Best of all, withdraw your winnings in under 24 hours. So take control of your bets, because with Zen Sports, betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and up and in Tennessee to bet.
Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs, and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties, and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media, or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
All 5 Middle Tennessee locations of Sam's Place and Sam's Sports Grill are open for dine-in service plus takeout and curbside pickup as well. That's right. You can dine in or out at our locations in Belmead, Murfreesboro, Hendersonville, Old Hickory, and our newest location at Nippers Corner. Happy hours Monday through Friday from 3 to 7, featuring half-price beer. From scratch kitchen items made fresh daily, Sam's Place and Sam's Sports Grill are the best eats and the best seats for every game. For more information, visit samsportsgrill.com.
It's a Bill King Show.
If Nick coached another 7-8 years, I would not be shocked at all. I wouldn't be. Now, I'm not predicting it because I don't think you can predict that kind of thing. We don't know that. If he coached to 80, I would not be flabbergasted.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The Mcfarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Sports Radio 560 WNSR. This is the McFarland Show. I'm Justin McFarland. Darren McFarland with a day off. He is in Omaha, Nebraska. My good friend Patton Cook will be in with us tomorrow. We are in the middle of a thunderstorm here in Nashville. It is pouring here in South Nashville. It's raining buckets outside right now. And it probably has rained buckets in your part of town as well if you're under the sound of my voice. And if it hasn't, it's coming. That's the way that it's kind of been going here. So heads up on that. The rain is pouring down. We continue to follow the action with the College World Series. Of course, Tennessee is getting set to take on LSU tonight in a win-or-go-home game in the College World Series. Of course, we're also following the action between TCU and Oral Roberts. Excuse me, let me clear the throat there. TCU and Oral Roberts, they are playing their game right now. We were watching it here in our wonderful and spacious studios at WNSR, but the rain has been so heavy that it actually knocked out our television systems here. So it's coming down pretty hard. But TCU was up big in that game as they were in the middle of that game. I believe around the 5th inning was the last check on that particular game. So we'll get back with them coming up here in the next few minutes. And we're coming up next hour, we're going to be hearing from the head coach. Here we go, 6-0 now in the top of the 5th between TCU and Oral Roberts. So it seems like TCU has got this game well in hand. And even though they're halfway through, still time for Oral Roberts to come on back in this game. But it's a winner-go-home game for TCU and Oral Roberts as they try to get something going here for them. Later on, as I mentioned, Tennessee taking on LSU. And, of course, Major League Baseball happening a little bit later tonight, as a matter of fact. The Atlanta Braves continued their series against the Philadelphia Phillies. And so that game will be taking place around 5:40 this afternoon. You can catch some of that action right here on WNSR, your home for Braves baseball. Reminder, there is a lot of things always happening here within the city of Nashville. Of course, you've talked about the Music City Grand Prix. That'll be coming up here in early August. And, of course, lots more monster truck rallies and big concerts and all that kind of thing happening here in Nashville. As a matter of fact, we've got our young ones here with us this morning, or the future of sports radio, as I call them. Jonah and Alec are both here representing their universities, the right way, Michigan State and Arkansas. Alec, I want to ask you very quickly, since you're kind of new to town a little bit, Has this surprised you, the amount of concerts and shows when you hear about the people coming here? You're like, who's here? What's happening?
I kind of expected that.
You did
I
expect
know
it.
what Nashville entails. Like, I understand that. Like,
Okay.
and I've been down here before with my buddies and all that, so I've experienced it before as a tourist.
Yeah.
But so I kind of understood what was going on.
You kind of understood that,
Yeah.
this is kind of what we do down here. Jonah, you're from Murray County, as you said earlier before. So you know what we do here in Nashville. Like, it's not a stranger to you for, Beyonce, George Strait, and, Chris Stapleton to all be here in the same weekend or something.
Yeah, it is. I'm no stranger to that, and I'm no stranger to a good show. I've seen Hamilton at the T-Pack.
Okay.
And I saw one of my favorite concerts last year was Motley Crue, Joan Jett, and Def
Motley Crue,
Leppard,
and Def Leppard,
all at Nissan Stadium.
Wow, now that's a show. All right, we talked about that a little while ago. The first big show that you ever went to. What was your first big show? So very quickly, what was yours here? Your first big show that you ever went to, that you saw in concert, big concert you went to? The first one.
That's the Black Crowes.
Black Crowes.
I'd say Florida Georgia Line.
Florida Georgia Line. Where'd you see them?
Yeah, at the Allegan County Fair in Allegan, Michigan. Yep.
Wow.
2014.
They brought their show up there. Wow.
Yeah.
Now that's impressive. Florida Georgia Line spreading the love up there, cruising.
Yep.
All the way up there to Michigan. So that'll wrap up hour one of the Mcfarland Show. Still plenty more coming up here in our second hour. We'll take your call, 615-844-5600. That's 615-844-5600. You can text us as well. Plenty more of the Mcfarland Show, plus an update on the College World Series when we come back. Stay with us.
.560 AM, 95.9 FM, Brentwood, Nashville, 107.9 FM, Smyrna, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
ABC News, I'm Rena Roy. Hunter Biden and federal prosecutors have reached a tentative plea agreement. It would result in President Biden's son pleading guilty to a pair of misdemeanor tax charges and entering a diversion program on a felony gun charge. ABC's Aaron Katursky says there's no mention of his overseas business dealings.
In saying nothing, I think it may speak volumes because it shows that a U.S. attorney appointed under the Trump administration after a 5-year investigation did not find any additional conduct to be chargeable. And even though a statement from U.S. Attorney David Weiss says that the investigation is ongoing, we have a statement also from Hunter Biden's attorneys saying that this 5-year investigation has been resolved.
Oxygen levels are dwindling for the passengers on board the OceanGate submersible, hoping to tour the Titanic wreckage. U.S. and Canadian military are launching robotic search vessels looking for signs of life. This is ABC News.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Here at Total Wine & More, you'll find what you love and love what you find. I like this flavored gin, but want something new? You'll love this one. Wow! Oh, you're good. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Pickup and delivery available at TotalWine.com. Drink responsibly, B21.
Listen. You can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Sports Radio 560 WNSR. This is the McFarland Show on this Tuesday afternoon. My name is Justin McFarland. Darren McFarland has the day off. He is on his way to Omaha, Nebraska. That is where he is going to take in some of the College World Series. By the way, game in the College World Series is going on right now. Oral Roberts is trying to get something going. They are down 6-0 with their season on the line in the bottom half of the fifth. They got 2 on and 2 out, down 6-0 to TCU. Of course, this is game 1 for the day. The nightcap is going to be an intense one. Tennessee taking on LSU, 6 p.m. tonight. Loser go home in that game. Of course, Tennessee was able to pull off the big win yesterday, 6-4 over Stanford to send them home. Darren and I are taking small credit for that win after Tennessee made the rally while we were on the air with Vince Ferrara around the same time yesterday, actually in the 2 o'clock hour yesterday. So Tennessee now getting set to take on LSU, the same LSU team they lost to on Saturday to put them in a loser's bracket to begin with. But now LSU, after catching the loss to Wake Forest, is finding themselves in a similar situation. So we'll see what happens tonight there in Omaha. Should be a very intense game between two division rivals and a couple of fan bases and a couple of teams who many people say are very similar in their confidence level and the way that they play and their sort of a flash and, just kind of a confidence about them. A lot of people say they are two of a kind, really. I think some of our fans out there would say they're lacking lacking some class is what I've heard some people say about them. But, to each their own. Everybody's got their own style. Or Roberts got a base knock and got on the board. 6-1 now. 6-1 as they try and get the rally going, taking on TCU. We're here in the studio with a couple of our next generation sports talk show hosts here. We are talking with Jonah Story here. Of course, has been producing the show for us. Jonah comes to us from the University of Arkansas. And Alec Kieshel is here with us as well. Alec comes to us from Michigan State University, a proud Spartan. And both of them are young. And it's great. And I'm so happy for them. They don't know. Most of the people under the sound of my voice, y'all remember young, right? Y'all remember youth? They've got youth. And it's a beautiful thing. And they're still enjoying their youth, both of them in college and enjoying their lives here. But I wanted to ask them a couple of things because what I like to do is check in on the younger generation. Try to find out exactly what their thinking is in regards to certain things. Because when we grew up, we being, 35 and up, let's just say, we have a certain way that we think about the world. And we think everybody else thinks that way too. But we've come to find out that, that's not the way everybody thinks. And so I want to ask these two gentlemen here with us what their thoughts are on a couple of issues. These are not I've not asked them before. I'm asking them fresh, so I'm getting fresh opinions. All right, gentlemen, we're going to start with something broad and basic, okay? Broad and basic. Who's the best basketball player of all time? Jonah, we can start with you. Best basketball player of all time. Who's the GOAT?
I don't really think that I think this conversation is not really relevant.
You're going to be diplomatic about it, okay?
No, I'm serious.
You're going to be diplomatic.
No.
I understand.
I'm serious. If you ask someone who is your age, 35 and up,
Mhm.
they're going to say Michael Jordan was the greatest.
Mhm.
If you ask someone who is a little bit younger, a lot of times you will hear Kobe Bryant before you will hear LeBron James.
For LeBron, okay.
But if they happen to be in that 15 to 18 range, they're probably going to say LeBron.
LeBron, okay. Alec?
I'll say Jordan.
You say Jordan?
Yes, sir.
You're a Detroit Pistons fan.
I know, and I hate him to death, but, you know.
And you have the nerve to say Michael Jordan out of your mouth.
He played in a
Detroit
harder
Pistons
era.
fan.
I think he played in a better era of basketball.
He played in a bit. What? Let's say, wait a minute. You're making Jonah wince over there. You think that the era that Michael Jordan played in was a better era for basketball? Why would you say such a thing?
Just the players that were playing, the way they played, it was more physical. I mean,
physical.
Well, I mean, look at the Bad Boys. I mean, that was the only team that could do anything to Jordan, and look at the way they played.
You know, they were clotheslining him.
Yeah, exactly.
In certain
the
cases.
Jordan rules.
Jonah, you just seem to disagree with this. Why?
I love the Bad Boys Pistons. I have their championship hat. I really love that team. With that being said, it seems that you seem to fall into the argument of, oh, well, it was harder in that time. It was harder in that time. Well, the thing about it being harder in that time, those guys were not training at the level of the NBA players of today. Those guys were having pizza, pop, whatever after the game, and then going in the next day and just battling on the court. It's not the constant preparation of your body. And in this era, we have the constant preparation of the body and even the mind as we are expanding in sports today. So that comment that it was harder back in the day is just saying, oh, they could clothesline.
Wow.
So therefore harder back in the day. And it just does not hold up as an argument.
Ooh, wait a minute. It doesn't hold up as an argument. Okay, listen. 615-844-5600. That's 615-844-5600 at the Strike and Spare Studios. Yes, of course. Now, listen, before I continue on down this path, of course, if you would like to call and talk about Tennessee and their game against Stanford and the College World Series, please, by all means, do so. I'm not trying to stop you. If you want to call and talk about DeAndre Hopkins, if you want to call and talk about the Nashville Predators, we got the NHL draft coming next week. If you want to call and talk about any of those things or something entirely different, feel free to give us a call. We are here for you, okay? So I'm not trying to stop anybody from doing this. I'm just asking a question among our youth here, among our younger sportscasters here, about how they think about the world. And I'm intrigued because you may notice I have not given my opinion at all here yet. I'm just trying to hear what other people think about this. So Jonah is of the opinion that there is no GOAT, that the GOAT is some abstract thing, and that the GOAT will vary no matter who you say. Alec is of the opinion that the GOAT, greatest of all time, greatest basketball player of all time, would be Michael Jordan, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, born in Brooklyn, raised in North Carolina, went to the University of North Carolina, drafted number 3 overall by the Chicago Bulls. And you believe he's the GOAT because he played in a harder era where they could actually be physical, put their hands on people in a big way, not just hand checking either. Like, you know, they could throw some people down in that day and do some things. So you believe that is the better way to go with Michael Jordan right there. So we're gonna get back to that if we get a second. Actually, our phones are blowing up here. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll take the phone calls. 844-5600. That's 615-844-5600. While Jonah is over there wrestling with the phone calls here, I'm going to tell you, Alec, I'm very surprised at you because people of your generation, Jonah is correct, normally don't say Michael Jordan.
Right.
You never saw Michael Jordan
No, I
in his
did not.
prime. You have
Nope.
no idea. But you've studied the history.
Yes.
You've looked at the clips.
I think he was more consistent too. Like he won what was it, 6 of 8, and the only 2 years that he didn't win it, he was
He didn't
suspended
play.
for
Yeah,
gambling.
basically he didn't play.
Suspended for gambling, right? Yeah.
No. He wasn't suspended for gambling.
Oh,
That
okay,
is
yeah. That's a myth. I
That
forgot.
is a rumor.
That's-
Okay, that's a rumor
that is-
and a myth
that
that
is-
your generation made up.
Made up.
Except
Yeah.
not really.
I don't think that's made up.
I think that's a legit. Like I think that may
Who
have happened.
suspended him?
Well, it was a secret suspension.
It's a secret
That's what the whole
suspension.
thing is. It
David
was like
Stern
a
secretly
yes.
suspended the best player in basketball
They
for
didn't,
2 years.
They didn't want to make, because he was the best player. They didn't want to make a big deal.
They didn't want to make a big deal about it. So,
yeah.
the David Stern suspended the guy who took the game global.
Right.
He suspended him for 2 years. That's what you're saying.
I
okay.
am saying
I'm
it.
just trying to
am
make sure
saying
that
it,
you
but
understand what you're saying here. Okay.
I think it is
We'll
a
get to
very
it.
real possibility.
All right, let's get to the phone calls. Let's go to Bill first. We're going to start with Bill. Bill, good afternoon, sir. Welcome to WNSR. Justin Mcfarland here talking with our youth.
Hello, Justin. Hope all is well with all of you.
Yes, sir.
Here is I have a question,
Yes,
first
sir.
of all. Maybe I slipped through it. Maybe I didn't hear an update on it. But what exactly is going on with the Tennessee investigation by the NCAA into Jeremy Pruitt?
There hasn't been a lot of movement, to my knowledge, on that. It's been incredibly quiet, Bill. So, no, you haven't missed it. It's just been really quiet on that, unless there's something that's happened in the last hour or so. But, no, it's been really quiet on that front.
Okay, well, I know they had all this, the people went and had testimony
Yes.
and talked, but
Yes.
now it's kind of, lack of a better term, it's kind of fallen off, and no one's talked about it.
You are
So
correct.
I didn't know
Yes.
what the story was.
There, as far as there hasn't been a story. You're right that there was a lot of people going and talking about some things, testifying about some things, but to our knowledge, and I'm looking up the latest here, there's been nothing significant on this since April of this year. So it's been very quiet.
Typical NCAA.
Yes.
Hurry up and wait.
Yes. that has been their MO. Yes, Bill.
Well, let me make one other comment.
Yes, sir.
You guys are talking about great players, and I'm 54 years old, so I did see Michael Jordan play, and
Yes, sir.
I think he was one of the best players I ever saw. But let me tell you, one guy who deserves to be in the conversation, even though he never won a ring, was Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller did some amazing things. Now, Bill, I'm there with you. If my wife is listening, she's hurting right now because she's a New York Knicks fan and she cannot stand Reggie Miller. So, babe, if you're listening, just turn it off right now. Just turn off the radio. I'll be home soon. Just don't listen to this part. Reggie Miller did some, and Bill, did some of the most amazing things on a basketball floor that anyone has ever seen. The 8 points in 19 seconds thing at the Garden is masterful, okay? It's nothing short of masterful.
Threw it all in Spike Lee's face.
Oh, my goodness. Taking the bow there after the shot against Chicago, even though they ended up losing that game. But taking the bow at center court there is he was, if you ever want, and this is my advice, anybody, and this is, I'm so real when I say this. If anybody ever runs into a situation where you're going to go into a situation where everybody's going to be against you, if you're ever going to play a road game, if you're ever going to go somewhere where the odds are not in your favor, study Reggie Miller and the way that he went about road games, because his confidence in the way he played on the road was so impressive. And he had to go to the most hostile situations and succeeded all the time, Bill. So he has my ultimate respect for that. He really does. He was cold-blooded, man.
He was absolutely cold-blooded, and he would run the defender up into the upper deck and back to the court for
those picks. Yes, sir.
to get free.
You know it, sir. With Dale Davis and Rick Schmitz and those guys. Yes, sir.
Yes, he was. He was an amazing player. But anyway, thanks a lot, Justin.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it so much, sir. Let's get to Mike in Melrose. He's going to be up next for us. Mike, my friend, how are you this Tuesday afternoon?
Doing pretty good, staying dry.
Yes, sir.
Back to the Michael Jordan issue. Whatever the reason was he took a break from basketball, it made my dad some money because my dad at the time owned the Nashville Sound.
It made all of minor league baseball some money, Mike. All of minor league baseball cashed in. The Birmingham Barons are still cashing in to this day, Mike, with selling Michael Jordan jerseys right now.
Yeah, because we had another team at the time, the Nashville Express was AA with the Twins.
Yes, sir.
And I think he came to town maybe 8 times, and it was standing room only every time.
Yes,
so
sir.
He was just a phenomenon. And I got a chance. Before I moved back here for college, my dad worked for the Rangers, and we had season tickets to the Mavericks, so I got a chance to go watch him play.
Okay.
Magic and Bird, and those guys are. You can compare the eras, but all those guys are just such great athletes. A lot of people don't get into the NBA game because they've never really been to many games.
Yeah.
We went every game and just said such a difference from the college game to the pro game, just the athleticism.
Yeah, you can see the difference. Obviously, the pro game, the guys are much bigger, a little faster than they are in the pro game. But, that's the difference. They get a lot more time in their hands there, Mike, so they're able to kind of, spend that time home and in there with that.
Well, for the most part, they're good shooters. They can shoot the ball.
Yes, sir.
Justin, one thing real quick, and you
Sure.
don't have to comment if you don't want, but you had a story yesterday.
Okay.
And I got a little opinion because I taught in Metro for 24 years.
Okay.
So our director came on there talking about the SRO and saying it would not be their job to do any discipline.
That is what
their
she said.
job is
Yes,
kind
sir.
of just protection and planning. Well, and I taught at a good elementary school for most of my career. Didn't have any trouble. But I know a friend of mine, he teaches at McGavick High School. He tells me there's fights almost every day. So why would that not be the SRO's responsibility to break up a fight? Me as a teacher, I don't feel it's my responsibility. I did not go to college to learn how to break up fights. I went to learn how to teach. I taught PE, nothing real serious. But that comment really got to me, that why would you not let an SRO take care of discipline as well?
Well, it depends on what you define as discipline. And Mike, I don't want to dive into that here on this particular show. And I understand you, sir. It's a sports show, and now we're talking about Metro School discipline policy and things like that. But I do hear you, sir. I hear you loud and clear. I really do.
I understand. Hey, did you see last time? I saw where they're going to play a Major League Baseball game next year at old Rickwood Field down in Birmingham.
Yeah, I did see that. It seems like Major League Baseball has been doing their thing where they're kind of taking the game out of traditional venues. I've heard they've been going to London for a number of years, and they're going back there very soon here. So that doesn't surprise. They've been playing that game at the Field of Dreams up there in Iowa. So it seems like they're branching out quite a bit.
Yeah, they're going to need to put a lot of money into fixing that place up, but it should be. And that's where Willie Mays is from. So the Giants are going to be playing. And
2024. Yes, sir.
It sounds like a real good idea. All right, have a good day.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, in addition to doing this job, I'm also, the morning news anchor, traffic anchor, and all that over at Fox 17. So occasionally, a listener will see something that I've done over there and want to talk about it here, and that's fine. I appreciate you, listening and calling. I really do. Appreciate people being engaged on those stories. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, much more of the Mcfarland Show. This is Sports Radio 560 WNSR. We're Nashville Sports Radio.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? The parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Tennessee needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Bob's Steak and Chop House, located in the Omni Nashville Hotel, is a nationally renowned steakhouse specializing in the finest corn-fed Midwestern prime beef. The menu formula is simple: incredible meat, gigantic shrimp, fabulous salads, and decadent desserts. Start your experience at Bob's with the fried calamari or fresh scallops seared in Texas burnt honey. All the beef at Bob's Steak and Chop House are USDA prime cuts. From the traditional filet of tenderloin and ribeye to the adventurous Kansas City bone-in strip. They even have 2 different surf and turf options. And if you're looking for the other white meat, Bob's Steak and Chop House serves a dry-aged pork tomahawk with homemade applesauce. Fresh seafood is on the menu, from salmon to scampi, and even fresh lobster tail. For reservations, give them a call or log on to the Omni Nashville Hotel website. Bob's Steak and Chop House at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Post-COVID travel is on a surge. Many of you are traveling for fun because you've been locked up for 2 years. Listen, whether you're traveling for fun to Italy, Greece, Spain, France, or somewhere else fun in the world, or USA, now is a great time to book before the crowds hit and save. Plus, with a strong U.S. dollar, you'll get more travel bang for your buck. Right now is a smart time to make your reservations and call low-cost airlines. With one phone call, you can let us do all the work for free. We'll shop hundreds of airlines, hotels, resorts, and give you a way to save huge money on your vacation plans. And if you call right now, we'll give you a free hotel room with a qualified travel purchase. So call right now.
800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. That's 800-704-1662.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $16. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
We've heard collaboration more than I think I've heard in my...
It is the word of the year for the Titans right now.
So is that your word, Rand, or was that already here and you've become groomed to the word collaboration?
I would say it's our word.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
another collaborative phrase there. Thank you, man.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Sports Radio 560 WNSR. This is Nashville Sports Radio. I'm Justin McFarland. Darren McFarland has the day off. This is still the McFarland Show. We take your phone call, 615-844-5600. That's 615-844-5600. Patton Cook will join us tomorrow. We're going to look forward to some of the things he's got to say. Of course, you want to text us. You can text us as well. Our text line is the same as the phone number, 615-844-5600. Yes, you have to include the 615-844-5600. You can reach us on our text line. I've got that open. We can read some of the things you guys are sending us. We are talking about a number of things. Of course, we've been talking about the College World Series. It's ongoing right now. Tennessee's got their big game against LSU later tonight. Right now, they're in the middle of a challenge at the College World Series. That is where TCU is taking on Oral Roberts. 6-1 is the score right now, even though TCU is threatening to add more to their lead as they've got 2 on, 1 out there in this particular game, top half of the 6th. It is loser, go home in this particular game. Loser, go home. By the way, headline just coming across the wire a short time ago, Lionel Messi's very first game is scheduled to be coming up in July 21st, I believe I saw, as he's going to be taking on or playing with Miami's MLS team. So you can look forward to seeing Lionel Messi in action coming up here as he's scheduled to make his debut, it would seem, in a few weeks. So that's just now coming out. Of course, we're talking about anything you want to talk about at 615-844-5600. I'm joined here by what I'm calling the next generation of sports talk with Alec and with Jonah. Both of them are young men interested in sports broadcasting. That's why they're here with us this summer. Both of them go to really big schools, University of Arkansas, Michigan State University, both of them in Power 5 conferences. They've seen a lot of really cool things up close already. So, I've been getting their opinions, but they're also very young. And they're young so that I'm curious about some of the things they think about. Now, a few minutes ago, we were talking about the greatest athletes of all time. We were talking about who's the GOAT in basketball. That's a general question. The LeBron versus Michael Jordan versus Kobe Bryant GOAT conversation. But that was just a little bit of a taste. I just kind of wanted to see where you were analytically in your brain and how you think about things there. So I want to move on to the next thing here and the next topic. And I'm going to ask a question. If you don't know the answer, that's okay. And I'm curious, Alec, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Who is Steve McNair?
He was the quarterback for the Tennessee Oilers and the Tennessee Titans.
Very, very cool.
Alcorn State.
Man, that is nice, my man.
Mm-hmm.
You study a little sports history, though, don't you?
Yeah.
You go back, you watch NFL films, you do all that stuff, don't you?
Yep.
I can tell. Okay, I can tell. It's coming through you loud and clear here. But do you remember much about Steve playing, or just you watched clips and things like that?
I don't remember. I was too young to see him play.
Too young.
Yeah, I'd seen the clips, the Super Bowl clip of just missing it.
Yeah. That's scary to think about, that you're too young to remember Steve McNair playing. Let's get to Jonah. Jonah, who is, now I know because you're from Middle Tennessee, who is Steve McNair to you?
Steve McNair to me will probably be the greatest Titan of all time. Just in my head.
Not the greatest Titans quarterback, the greatest Titan of all time.
Just in my head, when I think about the Tennessee Titans as an organization, and if I'm to think about one player to represent the Titans organization, I would say Steve McNair is that player.
Steve McNair is that player for you. All right. So, all right, very good. All right, I like that. Next round of questions here for both of you. And this is, I'm really curious about this. Who's the running back for the Tennessee Titans? Who's the best running back they've had? Is it Eddie George, Chris Johnson, or Derrick Henry? Who was better in their primes here? Jonah. We're going to start with Jonah this time. Jonah, because we started with Alec last time. Jonah?
That's a really hard question.
27, 28, or 22?
Just going to favoritism, I'm going to say Eddie George.
Eddie George. Why Eddie George? That's curious.
This is not really analytical because I do not have.
You don't have to be analytical, man. Just come on with it. You okay?
I loved using him in the old video games. That was one of my favorite things about Eddie George growing up. PS2, just awesome, good times.
Okay, Alec.
Are we counting Earl Campbell here?
No,
okay.
Because Earl Campbell never, gained a yard here in Nashville.
But same organization.
I know. I got you. I understand why you're saying that. But no, I'm going for people who are here. Who's your guy?
I'll say Derrick Henry just because I'm not as familiar with Eddie George because I don't remember him playing that often either.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going with Derrick Henry over Chris Johnson. You know a lot about Chris Johnson?
Yeah, I do, but I feel like Derrick Henry was just better.
Derrick Henry's better than Chris Johnson.
Yeah.
That is curious. Now, I'm interested. When you think about Chris Johnson, what do you think about then?
I think about speed. He had definitely a lot more speed than Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry's a bulldozer, and he's insane.
Yeah. Well, clearly,
he'll be insane for the next couple of years.
Yeah. Well, you think?
I
think still got?
Yeah, a couple of years.
He still got some game in him. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you know about this because listen, you're a Detroit Lions fan, right?
Yep.
And Detroit has got what I think
best running back of all time.
Is the best running back of all time, even though. Him and Walter Payton, it's real tight for me.
Mm-hmm.
But Barry Sanders, by far the most electric running back I've ever seen.
Yes.
And I almost feel sorry for your generation that you never got to witness Barry Sanders live and in person.
I know.
That you just have the clips.
I was lucky enough to get to see Calvin though, so that was.
You saw
that
Calvin.
Was nice.
Calvin was something else, but Barry Sanders was so utterly ridiculous.
The highlights that I watched, and my dad was at his 2,000-yard game, where he broke the threshold.
Sure.
Yeah, that was, I heard stories.
The Jets game, I believe.
Yep.
The Jets
versus
game.
the Jets.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this old Silver Dome.
Yep.
All right, let's get to the phone lines. Our phone lines are doing well today. Let's get out to Doug. Doug, my man, appreciate you calling in. Help me talk to our youth this morning. How you doing? Afternoon.
Good afternoon, young bucks and old veteran. It's good to have this conversation.
Yes, sir.
I think with the GOAT discussion, the barbershop talk.
Yes, sir.
You have to categorize everybody in an era. Nobody's even talked about Lou Alcindor.
No, sir, we have not.
He's got the rings to show it.
He does.
But everybody has an era. You have the Michael Jordan era, the Kobe Bryant era, and with LeBron James, fortunately or unfortunately, he's played for 20 years and he ran into 2 eras.
Yeah.
But everyone has an era. You have the Wilt Chamberlain era. He started the big man conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just call one a GOAT without categorizing the era.
Okay. So
just like you're talking with football.
There's
the Speedy Gonzalez era of Chris Johnson. There's the 3 yards cloud of dust era with Eddie George.
Mm-hmm.
There's the King Henry era.
But say, I don't know what this is
era.
right now. I don't. We don't know what. I don't know what this is right now that we're in right now, Doug.
No, but it's not finished.
That's
the
true.
era's not over. So we're right in the middle of it.
That's
so
true, sir.
Everything has an era. You can, have all the adult beverages you want and, cast your statement on who you think is the best in your eye. But to me, everyone has an era. There's the Gale Sayers era. There's the, like you said, the Barry Sanders era. There's the Jim Brown era.
Yeah.
Everybody has an era.
Yeah.
Just got to categorize what time and frame you're talking about.
Yeah.
And close that discussion down a little bit.
Okay.
Instead of the all-time era.
Okay. I'm really
Thank
asking.
you, man.
Hey, Doug, thank you so much, man. And let me tell you real quick why I'm asking this question, and why I treat it so seriously. Because I do run into, believe it or not, some people here in Nashville who honestly believe with their hearts, and listen, God bless them, but they believe that Ryan Tannehill is a better quarterback than Steve McNair. I've heard that. There are people who hold that as an opinion, that Ryan Tannehill is the best quarterback this franchise has ever had since they've been here, since the fall of 1997 when they moved to Memphis. The fall of 98 is when they got to Nashville. There's some people who believe Ryan Tannehill is better than Steve McNair. And I wanted to ask the young people here, do they even remember Steve McNair? Because if you don't remember Steve McNair, it's real easy to say Ryan Tannehill was better because, you never saw him to begin with, so what do you know? So I'm asking these questions because I just wonder how long it will be before we get people who don't remember Eddie George as a player. Who is Eddie George? He's the head coach at Tennessee State, right? Well, yeah. And LL Cool J is the actor from NCIS. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he did that, but he's done some other stuff in addition to that. So, I wanted to ask the question to try to get frame of reference there. Let's get to Tony real quick. Tony, thank you so much for calling, sir, on this Tuesday afternoon, and welcome in. Help me talk to our youth here.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, young and old alike. So, Justin, sometimes I've told many people I feel I am a goat. I'm guys old and tarnished. I've always felt I was a goat.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, for the young guys, Justin, I'm going to put them on the spot here.
Okay.
All right, let's hear it.
You two guys are in college now.
Yes, sir.
What is the talk at college, at school, in your classes, in your hangout buddies, and going and eat pizza? What is the feel and the vibe on these college campuses about the NIL and players and athletes being paid?
Ooh.
I'd like to know from people that are right there at it.
You guys would know. You guys are at big schools surrounded by big-time athletes all the time. So you guys would be good for this. Alec, I can see your lips parting already. So go for it, sir.
I would say that nobody at Michigan State necessarily minds it, but it's not as big as, say, like the SEC NIL deals. Not even close. Like some of these, or even Ohio State for the matter. But like the majority of Michigan State athletes that are getting paid they're getting sponsorships from local businesses, like the Jolly Pumpkin Brewery in Michigan State is the official sponsor of the Michigan State offensive line. That's how, yeah, right,
Okay.
yeah.
I got you.
But my point of question, where maybe I didn't make it clear, what is the feel of the standard, regular Joe public students, how they feel about these players being paid?
No one really minds it that much. They understand, especially if they're good enough to play big-time college football. No one really cares.
Jonah, is that how you feel as well?
You go to Michigan State?
Yeah.
Or who?
Yep, Michigan State.
Okay,
I'm in Michigan
and
State, yeah.
Jonah goes to Arkansas.
What about your school?
Get your money, my man. Get your money. Run your money up. Run your money up. Okay? You play at the University of Arkansas, and you are an athlete, and the businesses in the Northwest Arkansas area want to invest their money in you, and rightfully so. Go out there and get your money because you bring the money to the school. You are entitled to a cut of that.
On the collective that takes place within the athletic department, is any of that discussed outside the athletic department sometimes with the other general population or anything at the university centers or among campus leaders? Do y'all ever hear anything of that?
Tony, I want to clarify your question. Are you asking them, do they know how much money is being brought in? Is that what you're basically asking?
Oh, well, I don't, Justin, none of us know how much money's being brought in. That's an open-ended number right there.
It could be. I'm just trying to make sure.
Ask Olivia Dunn.
Oh, man, okay. I'm just trying to figure out for our young men here if they understand the question. Do you understand what Tony's trying to get at here?
Is he just asking is it talked about? That's how I understood it.
I don't get it.
I don't think they quite understand what you're saying, Tony. Can you ask it one more time, man?
As far as the general population of the student body, and I've heard both of you answer on the first part, but to the general population of the student body and at the university center and all, is everybody on the feel-good side of the athlete is, hey, if you can get it, and do y'all never hear no resentment like, well, I'm a regular student. I'm here doing this and this and this. Why can't I have some type of money generated that I come up with that I want to try to get in on something? Is that ever said anything? Y'all ever hear anything like that?
The only people who ever say that are just not sports fans. And that's rare at a big-time program like Michigan State or Arkansas. Like, you get, maybe some people say that, but the majority of people, they look at it as a job. Like, I have a job up there. I can go make some money myself. They're making money for themselves. That's just how it goes.
Jonah?
What's really interesting about this conversation, a classmate of mine, recent graduate, Joshua Teeter, he is a Arkansas student who runs the Red Cup news site. It's like a rival to the Barstool. And he was able to craft a fan name, image, and likeness deal for him to go to several Razorback events through local businesses, kind of using his name as a influencer in the Northwest Arkansas area to create a name, image, and likeness deal outside of one for the players. So if you can find a way to use it to your advantage as a non-student like Mr. Teeter did, go ahead and do it. There's no one that's sitting around and saying these guys should not be paid, especially from the college level, because what happens a lot is you have the conversation of they bring in more money for the school than anyone else, so it is great that they are getting their money, like I said.
Tony, we're up against it, man. Is there anything else?
Really a very interesting statement or situation scenario that you just presented, because if that is known, I could see that happening at a lot of universities. That's really pretty amazing. So, but I wanted to get y'all's take on that, and that's Justin, it's like I've said before.
Yes, sir.
I've always said this.
Yes, sir.
You put Stanford and Vanderbilt having a number one and number two debate team in Memorial Gym, and you put Vanderbilt and Stanford on the baseball field out there to play, and both of them are top ranked, which one's going to have more people? It's going to be that baseball game, I do believe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tony, we're up against it, man. Thank you so much.
See you guys. Take care. Have a good one. Thanks.
Thank you, Tony. We appreciate you. And if you want to join Tony on the line, you can do so. 615-844-5600. More of the McFarland Show when we come back on Nashville Sports Radio.
Just because you can't see it or smell it, radon gas is everywhere. Caused by natural radioactive decay, it is the leading cause of lung cancer in women, children, and non-smoking men. And with Davidson County homes testing higher than the national average, now is the time for radon testing. Radon Mitigation is Nashville's licensed and NRPP certified radon mitigation company who can test your home, install systems, and maintain continuous meters for daily readouts on their simple-to-use app. Or you can test at home yourself by picking up one of the free DIY at-home test kits. Let Alex and his team at Radon Mitigation make your home a clean air home. Give them a call today at 931-47-RADON. That's 931-477-2366. Or online at ChooseRadont.com. That's ChooseRadont.com.
Hey, I'm Alex with Radon Mitigation, proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves on WNSR.
And now, Wise Guy Custom Builds LLC is reminding Americans to show support to the brave men and women who serve our U.S. military. Please visit DAV.org and consider donating to the disabled U.S. veterans who need our help. This message is brought to you by Wise Guy Custom Builds LLC. For residential remodeling or home additions, give the pros a call today at 262-607-1165. That's 262-607-1165. Wise Guy Custom Builds LLC. They bring your dream space to life.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. That's 800-413-3953.
Hello, this is Philip Cox from Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Are you looking for new and exciting things to do with the family during the spring and summer months? Thanks to Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers, you don't have to look any further. Sign up today for Kids Bowl Free, a summer pass starting in May where kids 15 and under receive 2 free games of bowling every day. You can also purchase a family pass that allows you to join the fun as well. Visit any of the 5 local Strike and Spare locations in Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Donaldson, Hermitage, and Tusculum to register, or just visit kidsbowlfree.com/Strike and Spare. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
The Jim Rome Show.
Man, I love Facebook. That's not in any way a time suck. It is such a valuable use of your time going on everybody else's page and posting how beautiful they look when they don't. They don't. You know they don't. Come on. Anyway, do what you want with your time. I don't want you to tell me how to spend my time. I won't tell you how to spend your time, but I will tell you this. Stop cropping out pictures and including yourself and then acting like, hey, my hair looked great that day. My makeup was perfect that day. Just do what I tell you. With regards to this, you'll be fine.
Weekdays from 11 to 2 on Nashville Sports Radio. You're listening to The Mcfarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Sports Radio 560 WNSR. This is The Mcfarland Show. I'm Justin McFarland. Darren McFarland with the day off. Darren McFarland with basically the week off. Darren will be back with us in a few days. He's out in Omaha, or at least he's on his way to Omaha, take in some of the College World Series and participate in some other events. Speaking of the College World Series, TCU is up right now, 6-1 over Oral Roberts. They are in the top half of the 7th, and it's a winner-go-home game for both teams. And it looks like at this point, it is Oral Roberts who could be on their way home after this game. Coming up tonight, it's going to be LSU taking on Tennessee in a winner-go-home matchup. between the Tigers and the Volunteers. Of course, the Vols are getting set for this second game of a winner go home. They won their game over Stanford yesterday. 6-4 was the final score there from Omaha in order to force tonight's game. So we'll see exactly what happens here tonight. Big game between those two as they one of them's going to win. The other person's going to go home, and it's going to get pretty contentious. Expect a tight game tonight starting at 6 o'clock. We've been talking with what I call with our youth, our sportscasters of tomorrow, the next generation, if you will. 844-5600, that's 615-844-5600. You can text us as well, 615-844-5600. We've been talking, we started off talking about a lot of different things. We talked about the GOAT conversation because I wanted to know how their generation thinks about things. The GOAT conversations with LeBron James versus Michael Jordan versus Kobe Bryant. We just finished talking about the older titans of Steve McNair and Eddie George and Chris Johnson all the way up here to Derrick Henry. And now we've talked about NIL as well, thanks to Tony. Tony called us, and we spent some time talking about NIL as both of these young men have spent some time on big-time college campuses. They're not big-time college athletes, at least not that I know of. Are you a big-time college athletes?
No, I wish.
I missed it. No, nobody's playing. Okay. They go to big-time schools, though. The SEC and the Big Ten, Michigan State and Arkansas. So that's also very cool because both of you guys are from outside the state, so quote-unquote. So you guys get to see things in a little bit of a different way. And I want to ask this question, especially to you, and this is going to be a good one here. Alec, we're going to start with you because you're at the Big Ten school. The SEC says they've got the best football conference. Why are they wrong?
I don't think they are wrong.
They are not wrong.
I don't think so.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I can't. The last national championship we had was 2015, first year of the playoff, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Last national championship we had. I mean, you're not wrong.
So Big Ten, is Big Ten Nation, how do they feel about the SEC? Is it jealousy? Are they angry? Is it none of the above? Is it respect? Like, how do you feel?
I think it's a little bit of jealousy. And it's also like, if you look at some of these SEC non-conference schedules, they don't necessarily play the hardest non-conference schedule. And I think that's been the biggest knock in Big Ten country about the SEC. But you can't knock them when they're still winning national championships with a bad non-conference schedule.
Yeah.
That's just...
and they're still beating the Big Ten schools pretty convincingly in a lot of the games that mean something.
Right.
The Big Ten teams will beat them, occasionally in some of the smaller games. Purdue came down here and beat Tennessee a couple years ago in the Music City Bowl. It happens. Those kind of things can happen. But overall, you're believing that you believe the SEC is the better brand of football.
I do. Do I think it could change in the future? Absolutely. But right now, the SEC is a better football conference.
Well, hope springs eternal. Jonah, are you surprised to hear that?
Yes. I'm very serious. I'm surprised.
Jonah goes to Arkansas.
I'm not used to Big Ten people saying, yeah, you guys, yeah, just absolute dominance. But I don't really play into the whole, our conference is better than yours or that conference. No, because it's ridiculous. When you break it all down.
Why is it ridiculous?
I also think it depends on which school you cheer for. If you're an Ohio State fan or a Michigan fan, you're going to be a little bit more defensive. But, like, you are.
No, I got you. I understand why. I understand.
Yeah. Because they've been the last, 4 years, they've been the two teams that have been the best. And they think they can win a national championship.
Yeah.
Like, at Michigan State, we won 5 games last year. I'm not going to say we're better than the SEC.
Yeah, but Michigan State's been to the college football playoff.
Yeah, and we lost to Alabama 38-0.
It wasn't pretty against Alabama. I'll give you that. Jonah, why is the conversation ridiculous?
Because it can vary upon era, just like we were talking about earlier when it comes to GOATs. You can say one conference was better than in another area. There's a time when Nebraska was one of the best schools in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
But they were Big 12 Nebraska at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But
right, yeah, okay.
This entire conversation about conference can depend on what era it is, and sometimes different generations of people, like we're all having our conversation today, will give you different answers on truly who the best football conference of all time is.
Yeah, but right now you're standing in the same spot where Alec is as far as the SEC being the dominant conference. Of course, you agree with that.
I'm saying the SEC is the dominant conference because the SEC eats itself every year. Because
the head-to-head,
the head-to-heads, you'll have a top 15 playing against the top 5, and then the top 15 comes out and beats the top 5. Then the top 5 falls to a top 15.
Yeah. It's really tight within the division for sure. Let's take a quick break. This is our last break. When we come back, more of the McFarland Show, Sports Radio 560 WNSR. We're Nashville Sports Radio.
Unlimited Good Works is on the air saluting the brave men and women of our U.S. military. Their tireless efforts each and every day will never go unnoticed. Visit DAV.org to see how you can donate to our disabled veterans and make a difference today. This message is brought to you by Unlimited Good Works, serving Manchester and Nashville with quality service and pride. For residential remodeling and handyman services, call the expert today at 931-571-1201. That's 931-571-1201. Unlimited Good Works. They're professionals who care.
Okay, fellas, game's on the line. Let's get it right. Frank, you were closest. Was it fair or foul?
I don't know. I was distracted.
Distracted? By what?
Well, it's a loud crowd. These lights are awful bright. I just won big on a Tennessee Lottery instant game. And again, the lighting here. Somebody ought to say something.
You've got new instant games?
Yeah.
Enough to share?
Of course.
Fair ball!
Have a ball with new instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
With the new hot games from the Tennessee Lottery, cold hard cash is waiting to take your summer fun to the next level. And with sizzling top prizes of up to $500,000, these games could have what you need to make every day fun in the sun.
Oh yeah, this summer is going to be a scorcher. Grab the new hot games today at your nearest Tennessee Lottery retailer. But careful, they're hot. The Tennessee Lottery, game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get the ultra smooth, ultra powerful iPhone 11 for $49.99.
He didn't stutter.
See every angle with dual cameras.
Make it a double.
All on America's largest 5G networks.
Large and in charge, baby.
Get with the power of Boost and get the iPhone 11 for $49.99.
That's half a Benjamin.
Boost Mobile.
Unleash your power.
ID verification required. New customers only at one per line. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
Welcome back to Total Wine. What brings you in today?
Hey, Ruthie. I need help filling the ultimate beach cooler.
Well, we have the most hard seltzers and amazing canned cocktails anywhere, like High Noon, Cutwater, White Claw, Truly, Topo Chico, Jack Daniels and Coke, Neutral Vodka Seltzer, and Cayman Jack Zero Sugar Margarita in cans.
Wow. I'm going to be the king of the cooler.
And we have them at the lowest prices in town. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that'll bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your visit today at baseballhall.org.
The Braves are one of the hottest teams in baseball, and they're showing the National League that they are a force to be reckoned with.
2-2 pitch. And there's a bullet out to center field. Down for a base hit. Here comes Eddie. Braves win it!
Tonight, the Braves take the battle for the East on the road to Philadelphia as they square up against Bryce Harper and the Phillies.
Coverage begins this afternoon at 5:25 on your home for the Atlanta Braves, Nashville Sports Radio. Honest opinions, genuine conversations. The McFarland Show.
844-5600. This is the McFarland Show, Sports Radio 560 WNSR. Enjoyed this last couple of hours, spending it with our the next generation of broadcasters, I've been calling them, our next generation of sports talk. Alec. Yep. Get it right, man. Alec has been here with us. He's from Michigan State. And, of course, Jonah has been here from Arkansas. We are, of course, following the College World Series. It is still going on. They're in the bottom half of the seventh. TCU in command, 6-1 over Oral Roberts. Tennessee will take on LSU for part 2 of their duel coming up here tonight at 6 p.m. for the first pitch out there in Omaha. We've been talking a lot over the last little bit about, a lot of different things. We've gotten to NIL. We got into who's the better conferences. We've got a Big Ten and SEC representative here. We talked about old school Tennessee Titans. We talked about the greatest of all time in basketball play here. And real quick before we jump off here, the other thing I just wanted to say to both of you is I appreciate your contribution, appreciate your work here, WNSR. You guys are valued members here, and we appreciate that. And, the way you guys see the world is great for me because we can get so locked into the way it used to be that sometimes we don't look forward to the way it actually is. It took me a long time to get around to the super team thing that's going on right now in the NBA. I was very hesitant on it. I poo-pooed on it, but I realized I'm just going to have to get used to it because this is just the way things are now. Yep. And I know you guys have always grown up with it, so you probably don't know the difference at this point. Mm-hmm. Guys just jump around, right, Alec? I mean, this is just the way things happen.
Always been that way in the NBA. Yeah,
It's
always been that. Well, for me, it's always been that way.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
Guys just jump around from team to team. Joe and I imagine the same for you. You've never known any different. A guy jumps, and if he wants to go play with his friend across the street, they just go do it.
Absolutely. And I remember the day that LeBron said he's taking his talents to South Beach.
Yeah.
I remember that entire day because my family had a dinner to go to that night, and I was very upset because I didn't get to sit around my television and watch the entire decision.
Yeah, well, the decision, the television show. For people of my generation, let me tell you, we had a call about Reggie Miller earlier. Reggie Miller never won a championship. I think Bill called talking about Reggie Miller. It would be unbelievable to me that Reggie Miller would leave the Indiana Pacers and go join the New York Knicks to team up with Patrick Ewing and, Anthony Mason and Charles Oakley in an effort to try and defeat Michael Jordan. That is mind-blowing to me. But that is the era in which we live in now, where if you can't get over the hump, the easiest thing to do,
just join them.
Just go join somebody else.
Yep.
If you want a championship ring, just no problem. Just we're moving. That's all. We're just moving. So, it's interesting to think about it from that particular Kevin Durant.
Yep. And OKC, the Golden State.
You don't think any differently of Kevin Durant, do you?
I do.
I do.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Quickly, why? Why do you think differently of Kevin Durant?
Because he should have stuck it out in OKC.
He should have stuck it out in OKC?
Yeah, you got to be loyal. I think loyalty, there needs to be more loyalty in the NBA. 100%.
Jonah?
He's an extremely talented player, but he uses his talents to be average because they are above average.
Oh, my goodness. The curveball at the end. All right, thank you both. We appreciate it so much. Thank you for listening to the McFarland Show. Thank you for listening to Sports Radio 560 WNSR. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. Enjoy Braves baseball later tonight.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
Because, you were signing up. No, but all of us did. I understand that, but I don't see people